Hey guys, Brandon here with you. Think this is a game, and we're going to be doing a Magic Modern discussion slash market watch theory. Um, After Pro Tour for Oath Gatewatch, a lot of players wanted bans in Modern. To be fair, Pro Tour was only one event, and the format really hadn't had time to react to the rising prominence of the Eldrazi decks. But generally, if you think about it, one archetype starts to dominate a format. Sometimes there's a reaction capable of balancing the scale. For instance, if affinity becomes popular, it's normally natural for other decks to play more artifact destruction in response to the surge in popularity of artifacts and affinity for artifacts. The big issue here is that there is not exactly any clear, concise, or easy way to attack the Eldrazi's. The creatures come down so quickly, and they're so destructive and powerful on their own. And outside of lands, there's no form of synergy that make the creatures easy to cast. Initially, it seemed like the archetypes were capable of fighting, all of these blue, red, and colorless Eldrazi decks, but they just kept changing. They kept evolving. White blue Eldrazi has had awesome matchups across the board. There are a few archetypes that are still kind of capable of competing with Eldrazi, but so many have been unplayable. It's become a complete menace in Modern. Now, this past weekend marked the first set of Modern Grand Prix since the printing of Thought Not Seer. And they were the last Modern Grand Prix where the Eldrazi decks will exist in their current form, which is good news for the anti-Eldrazi players, bad news for the people who love these Eldrazi decks, who like to play these Eldrazi decks, who like them. It kind of put a giant target on Eldrazi's. It really singled them out. When you occupy 5 out of 6 spots in the finals for 3 different Grand Prix, and you also claim 2 different Grand Prix titles, this means that even regardless of all the hate and detest for this deck, pushing all of that anger for these cards and these deck builds aside, it doesn't make it still means that the entire format is almost entirely Eldrazi based, which isn't healthy for the format at all. And I feel personally there will be a banning at the first opportunity. Now, what cards do I think are going to get banned? I'm not sure. I can't say. Because I'm not sure which cards are more of a problem than their counterparts. But I feel like some things are going to get hit, whether it's the Eldrazi's themselves or it's something to help them. But like I said, outside of lands, there's really no synergy to boost how quickly you get these things out on the field. We might see some things come off the banned or limited list simply because it would help combat Eldrazi's. I'm not sure. This is just speculation, but it's hard to say because all the people who have invested in these Eldrazi decks and dropped all this serious coin on it, if a banning happens, they're going to be out money. And if it doesn't, then, I guess these cards are going to keep running rampant and, they'll pick up more value. But in the event that they do get banned, the real question is, should you sell your cards? I say no, because I've seen too many things get banned in Modern, and still retain a heavy value in things like Legacy and Vintage and things like that. I would not recommend selling, whether it be cautious marketing or nostalgia, or you just want to collect. I do not recommend selling things. Why? Well, let's talk about what makes these decks so good. It's been proven that the Eldrazi are absolutely powerful. In Legacy, Modern, Standard, it doesn't matter. They are very dominant in any format they touch. Wizards pretty much accomplished whatever goal they had of introducing the new cards into the formats, but it seems like the modern Eldrazi decks are too overpowered relative to what everything else in the format is doing. When comparing, the modern Eldrazi variants to potential standard versions of the same archetype that aren't actually that different cards, most of these Eldrazi decks are from Oath of the Gatewatch, and the creature base makes up a large portion of the deck. The big difference is that modern versions of Eldrazi are faster, and playing one of these Eldrazi creatures one turn earlier makes a huge difference. And if you think about it, some of these creatures are absolutely terrifying when they hit the field. There are a lot of the times that I'll be online and I will just concede because I do not want to deal with these things, nor am I prepared to deal with these things. And it gets really annoying when they drop the new Ulamog, Ceaseless Hunger, start taking 20 cards, and there's a lot of decks that will run Emrakul. They get ugly. They get really ugly. But, in my opinion, what's going to ban, or what's going to be banned in these decks is going to be the mana base. For all you modern players who do play Eldrazi, you know that if your opening hand doesn't have either Ivugin or Eldrazi Temple, you're almost always mulliganing. So I think that it may be possible to see a banning on either or both Ivugin or Eldrazi Temple. It may not absolutely be necessary to ban Ivugin, but it is possible. But overall, Wizards does need to ban something. It's getting out of hand. The Eldrazi menace is becoming a literal menace. But if you want a secret, for me. Go pick up. I'm just going to throw this one out here with the way that everyone in the modern format is picking up these Eldrazi decks. Go pick up Goblin Guides. Go pick up Lilianas of the Veils. Go pick up Karn Liberated. Most players now are picking up the Eldrazi decks for a tournament or two. Most of them knowing bans are likely, but if a banning does happen, don't expect red aggro, Tron, or Golgari mid-range archetypes to return to the top of the pack. It means people are going to be getting rid of these cards, and Veil, Karn, Goblin Guide, they're all very good cards. They're very good cards to pick up. I would suggest picking them up. They're not going to be super cheap, but the prices are going to be a little lower than they normally are, at least for a little bit. Take advantage of that. I strongly suggest taking advantage of that time to pick up these cards that are normally, Karn has dropped since its reprinting. Goblin Guide and Liliana, though. Goblin Guide's, it floats around its, usual price, but Liliana the Veil is always astronomically expensive. Pick it up while it has a price drop, or when the price drops. Do it. I suggest it. I cannot push that enough. These bannings are coming. They're coming. Prepare for them. Make the best of things. This is the best advice I can give players. Let me know what your opinions are below in the comments. Do you think a banning needs to happen? Are you against the banning? Do you feel it's imminent? Why or why not? Let me know below in the comments. I give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Once we reach 500 subscribers, we will be giving away 2 cases of Yu-Gi-Oh! Premium Gold, Infinite Gold. Like us on Facebook, our Tumblr. I will put a link below for our official Twitch stream. Next week, we will start doing live streams of Dueling Network for Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic Online Drafts, OCTGN for Force of Will, and EDH games for Magic, and a bunch of other things. But yes, honestly, take advantage of this time, guys. Take advantage of it. Once again, I'm Brandon with You Think This Is a Game, and thank you for watching.